thanks for staying with us at Asset Television. Welcome to the news at this hour. I am Emmanuel Akwaya. First, the headlines. Wanted fake DG in police net. Senate raises alarm over shortfall of funds to NCDC. France President Macron to visit Nigeria. Now the news in detail. The operatives of the Nigerian police force have reportedly arrested the Director General of the fake Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, Adeniyi Adeyemi. Adeyemi's arrest came few hours after Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court in Abuja issued a warrant for his arrest. Justice Umar gave the order following an oral application by Counsel for the Police, Wisdom Madaki, after Adeyemi failed to appear in court for his arraignment. Adeyemi and his co-defendants were scheduled to take their plea in the 8-count charge preferred against them by the police. The police in the fresh court documents marked FHC ABJ CR 562-2025 charged the defendants on allegations bordering on forgery and impersonation, among others. The Kano State Police Command has arrested a 28-year-old man suspected of attempting to deliver ammunition and military items to bandits operating in parts of the state. The command spokesperson, CSP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, said in a statement on Tuesday that the suspect, Mohammed Issa Haruna of Dandishe Yama quarters in Dala local government area, was arrested following credible intelligence provided by a resident. According to the statement, operatives of the BG Police Division, working with members of the Rimaye community in Bichi local government area, intercepted the suspect after receiving reports about a man dressed in what appeared to be a military attire. A search of his bag allegedly led to the recovery of an AK-47 magazine loaded with 30 rounds of live ammunition, 79 additional rounds of AK-47 ammunition, 2 sets of suspected military uniforms, 3 military caps, a suspected fake military identity card, a pair of desert boots, and several personal identification and bank cards. The police said the suspect confessed during preliminary interrogation that he had traveled to the area to deliver the recovered items to bandits hiding in the bush. Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Adamu Bakori commended residents of the Rimaye community for providing the information that led to the arrest, describing it as a reflection of the vital role of public cooperation in tackling crime. An Islamic teacher, Kamal Abdul Monini, has been arraigned before a Kano State High Court over allegations that he raped 4 sisters, including a set of twins, in the Ungogo local government area of the state. Abdul Monini, who teaches at Al-Hadid Nursery and Primary School, appeared before Justice Suleiman Baba Namalam on Tuesday to face the charges. Prosecuting counsel Barrister Abdullahi Mohammed, who is also the Director of Public Prosecution in the Kano State Ministry of Justice, told the court that the defendant had sexual relations with the 4 siblings on different occasions in his office. He added that 5 witnesses were available to testify in support of the allegations. The arraignment could not proceed after defense counsel Barrister Naziru Abdurrahman applied for access to documents and facilities relevant to the case, saying this was necessary to enable him prepare a proper defense for his clients. The prosecution raised no objection to the application. Justice Namalam subsequently directed the prosecution to release the requested materials to the defendants and adjourn the case to October 13th and 14th, 2026 for arraignment and hearing. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday ordered the remand of a journalist, Stanley Ogabe, in Kuje Correctional Center for allegedly defaming the Central Bank of Nigeria Deputy Governor in charge of operations, Osoro. The presiding judge, Justice Salim Ibrahim, gave the order after Ogabe was arraigned and pleaded not guilty to a 6-count charge preferred against him by the Inspector General of Police. The police charged Ugabe and Fejiro Oliver, fondly called Ogenetega Ogenedoro, who is currently at large with cyberstalking, false publication, cyberbullying and defamation. The prosecution said the publication was falsely and intentionally made to harm the hard-earned reputation of CBN Deputy Governor MM Osoro, contrary to Section 24(2)(c) of Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015, as amended 2024. Earlier, the IGP's lawyer KP Ubong informed the court that the matter was slated for the arraignment of the journalist. The defense counsel Adekunle Olanipekun did not oppose Ebong's application. After the charge was read to him, Ogabe pleaded not guilty to all the 6 counts. The prosecution counsel then applied for a trial date in order to open their case against the defendants. Asset will be back after the short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the break. The Senate has raised serious concerns over a glaring funding shortfall that threatens to stall the takeoff of the newly established North Central Development Commission. Lawmakers declared that the federal government's current monthly release of ₦2.9 billion is vastly inadequate to drive the Commission's ambition ₦140 billion budget for the 2026 fiscal year.
Speaking after an interactive session on Tuesday with the Commission's management, the chairman of the Senate Committee on NCDC, Senator Titus Zam, warns that the current allocation pace will leave the agency with less than half of its approved funding by the end of the year. A monthly disbursement of 2.9 billion translates to just 34.8 billion over a 12-month period, leaving a massive 105.2 billion deficit and raising serious concerns about the agency's ability to deliver on its development mandate across the region. Senator Zam expressed optimism that these initial releases are merely temporary, an interim arrangement pending the full operations of the Commission. He pressed for the executive branch for a swift and significant upward review. He commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council for kickstarting the funding process, but emphasized that the sustained and enhanced financial support is the only way the intervention of the agency can achieve its funding objectives. Describing the North Central Zone as Nigeria's agricultural heartland, the lawmaker emphasized that the region's vast fertile land, favorable climate make farming the fastest vehicle for economic growth, job creation, and national food security. The Senate is demanding aggressive investment in rural roads, social amenities, basic infrastructure to unlock isolated local economies. This legislative intervention underscores a growing worry within the National Assembly that without an immediate boost to its treasury, the NCDC may struggle to deliver the infrastructure renewal, agricultural transformation, and security relief desperately expected by millions of residents across the North Central states. Mania Osebe, Asset Television News.
Director General of the National Pension Commission, Omolola Oluwararan, says President has implemented major pension reforms over the past 2 years to improve the welfare of Nigerian workers and retirees. Speaking at a briefing to mark her second anniversary in office, Oluwararan said the administration cleared ₦758 billion in outstanding pension liabilities, introduced the pension boost for retirees under the contributory pension scheme, reviewed NSITF pensions for the first time in 21 years, launched an end-of-service benefit scheme for Treasury-funded ministries, departments and agencies, and introduced the Minimum Pension Guarantee and PenCare initiative. The DG said the reforms have restored confidence in the pension system, with pension assets rising by 51% from 20.79 trillion naira to 31.48 trillion naira, and 938,229 new contributors joining the contributory pension scheme. According to her, monthly pension payments increased by 22% from 12.2 billion naira to 14.9 billion naira under Pension Boost 1.0, while other 100,000 eligible retirees received a 32,000 naira monthly consequential adjustment following the new national minimum wage. French President Emmanuel Macron is scheduled to visit Nigeria later this year. French Ambassador to Nigeria Marc Boursier disclosed on Tuesday what is expected to be a major milestone in strategic partnership ties between the two countries. The announcement was made during France's National Day celebration in Abuja, comes 2 years after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's state visit to Paris, and signals a renewed push by both nations to deepen cooperation in trade, security, agriculture, culture, and regional stability. Addressing senior Nigerian government officials, governors, lawmakers, diplomats, and business leaders, the ambassador disclosed that President Macron's visit would provide an opportunity for both leaders to review progress made under the Nigeria-France roadmap and chart a new course for bilateral relations. The visit is expected to further elevate relations between Africa's largest economy and one of Europe's leading powers at a time of growing geopolitical competition and renewed efforts by both countries to strengthen economic diplomacy. Spain has secured a place in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, another defeating France 2-0 in their semi-final clash on Monday night. The Spaniards produced a disciplined display to overcome the 2018 world champions, keeping a clean sheet while scoring twice to book their place in the tournament's showpiece match. The victory extends Spain's impressive run in the competition and keeps alive their quest for another World Cup title. France, meanwhile, will now compete in the third-place playoff. Spain will face the winner of the second semi-final between England and Argentina in the World Cup final scheduled for July 19th. And that's the news at this moment. Do well to follow our social media handles for more news updates. On behalf of the news crew, I'm Emanuela Akwaya. Thanks for watching.